Aloha, all you money makers. This is Indar Lang, and we're on another episode. And this episode is for all you fathers out there, or anyone who has kids as well. And this is lessons all fathers must teach your son. I have a son and a daughter, and I'm super excited to share some great lessons that I've learned, as well as my family has passed down for me for generations. So let's dive on into it. If I told you guys that subscribe button is the only thing that's separating you from financial freedom, because knowledge is power. I'm going to give you all the knowledge so you can succeed in life. To share a little bit about a relationship with my dad, I have an amazing dad. I grew up on the Big Island with my dad. My dad was very close with my mom, and my dad was always there for me. We had a great dad. They did get divorced later on in life, and that was definitely tough to deal with. But my dad, I've always looked up to be, showed me kind of MacGyver. I can answer all my problems, help me with mechanicals and fix my cars. And, it's always been there for me. So I've always now tried to turn that same lessons down onto my kids. Some of the things that my dad has just taught me, I've generally just passed it down to my kids. And now in real estate, I'm passing these same kind of real estate things down to my kids. Pain is a huge thing about growth. Sometimes, I let my son fail, or sometimes I let my son do it himself just so he can grow. And my father did the same thing to me. So, pain is a prerequisite to growth. Pain either kills you or makes you stronger. It's almost like our stress levels keep growing as we get bigger and bigger. So I recognize that in my son today. I do some things with my son that is really amazing to see. We have two different bank accounts, piggy banks at home. One is for, of course, savings, and one is to invest his money and to make more money. So I'm already teaching him different avenues of money and how to make it grow. And we're also teaching just the concept of bank accounts, of money, my son wanted to know what a closing statement was the other day, so we're teaching those kind of things. I do show him how to do emails. He's only 5 right now, and talk to him about some of those things. So I'm explaining to him my world that we do, because for me, my son is going to take over a lot of our rental properties, so I don't want to give him these properties to take over. I want him to already understand it and be involved and be a part of it before it's already coming to him, of course. So there is a fine line of wanting to your son to learn and grow and build it on their own, of course, or to just give them everything. And that's a struggle, of course, to deal with. How much do you give them to how much do you let them discover on their own? And to me, I think you can let them discover on their own and just make that even bigger than what they had. So say you left your son or daughter $2 million, they can now turn that into $10 million, is my thinking. I also do want to enjoy my life, so I worked hard for it, so I do spend my money and I enjoy myself, but of course the properties and so forth will be left to them. I have a kind of a goal. I don't know if it's a full goal, but to generate 5 generations of wealth. Later on you can develop a trust. If you don't have enough property, you put a trust and you can pay out that trust to your kids. You can either allow the trust to not allow them to sell any properties. They can only sell to themselves maybe, and they can only take the income of it. Maybe they can only sell, the next generation can sell the properties. So you can do things like that. It's your trust, your property, so you can control it. There's a great book, The Rockefeller Technique, Rockefeller Trust, and basically talks about that, not allowing the kids to sell the property, in case somebody gets married to the wrong guy and he tries to take some of the family's assets and stuff like that. So you just want to protect your hard-earned things you worked hard for in your life to that. There's some huge life traits that are definitely worth sharing to your kids. There's so many things. Some kids we are dealt with an easy hand, and some are dealt with a really unbelievable difficult hand. There's no chance of luck. There's no chance of fairness. So I don't teach my kids to chance on luck. Work hard for what you got. Analyze a deal and understand it and work hard for that deal. So I kind of teach that same model. Don't depend on luck. Don't think that something's going to be handed out to you. If it does, if you do get some breaks, that's great. But see it as it is, and understand that it's not going to be easy. So it's hard to instill that into somebody. But it's definitely a certainty there. Um, and, not to compare yourself with others is a huge task to show your kids, and how to be a boss, how to be a leader, you know how to command respect from people by leading. Is a huge trait that I try and instill with my kids, and it's a must. You got to teach your kids how to be a leader. You got to teach your kids how to not be a sheep, basically, as you say, not following the school system of be a W-2 work employee, to be an entrepreneur, how to go out there and make it for yourself, how to grow your own business, how to understand a profit and loss statement, how to understand a balance sheet, how to start a company, how to open up credit cards and bank accounts, how to get a loan. So things like this are super, super important. Understanding your credit and what's credit, used for, difference between debit and credit, difference between gross income and net income. These are all things I talk to my son about already. So I'm just getting him used to the words and lingos and understanding some of these things. He may not understand it right now at 5, and I have a 2-year daughter. They may not understand it, but as I'm just talking about it naturally, they're going to start questioning. My son questions it. We were watching a movie last night, and there was lawyers on there, and he understood some of it with the lawyers, and he was starting asking some litigation questions, legal questions, and it was interesting because he's already understanding lingo and terms, that normally you wouldn't understand. There's always going to be a smarter person in the room too with your kids, and there's always going to be somebody better and stronger. So just focusing on your challenges to become a better person of yourself. My kid has a goal every day. When we go to school, my kid has 2 goals: to make a friend, to make a new friend, learn something about it, and to get smarter and get a little bit smarter, learn something, basically. So he has 2 goals: to make a new friend and to learn something, to share it with me. Sometimes we change up our goals, but often we'll be driving to school and I ask, what's our goals for today, son? What are we going to be working on today? And just to create the simple, easy goal, something fun that, I think he can do. I do reward him if he does good. I do, of course, it's my son. I love him, so I'll buy him something nice, of course. But for me, being an entrepreneur, having many companies, my dad has many companies, my mom has many companies, I think it's naturally instilled that our kids should follow in your footsteps a lot of times. So by me trying to be a positive light to them, I think will just instill that into them. So by me focusing on me and becoming a great entrepreneur, business person, a great person of the public, of the people, of whatever, of a community, of my whatever, it will instill onto them to do the same or better. I think our kids always are better than us, as it should be. Every generation gets better as they should be. So this is just generalizing. So use those strengths that you have to motivate and to show your kids what inspire them. The best way they learn is from just seeing. So if you're out partying all weekends, they're going to see that. If you're smoking weed and they're going to know that. They know what they're doing. So if they see you pushing to build more for them, being successful, they're going to see that. So best teaching is in doing, and there's no better way. And it's interesting to be at the point in my life with new kids, as well as my dad. My dad's heavily involved in my life today. His office is right down the way. I see him all the time, and to be able to have both sides is very interesting, and it's just joyful. Very, very joyful to have a loving dad, as well as having a son to love. So be out there, be a good father, show them the ropes, show them how to grow and to learn, and to be a better person. Investor inbox. So in our investor inbox, we had a question from Alex. How can I make sure my children are wealthy? That's a great question. Best of all is to get a trust. You have to buy rental properties. If you have a job, you're going to have to keep making money every year. You can't pass on your job. You can pass down your company, or you can pass on, your rental properties, or you can have a life insurance policy, a whole life term life policy that's going to leave them a ton of money, as you're paying into that policy. There's each his own. You can obviously spend, hundreds of thousands into a life insurance policy to leave them that cash, value, whatever that is, or you can spend 100,000 in a rental property, leave them rental property, or leave them your company as well. So it's a tough question, but the only way to start is to get out of the rat race, really, and to start investing. In a syndicate, for example. You can leave them that as that's paying out, something like that. There's a lot of different ways to keep your kids well off, better than you. Deal of the week. We have a multifamily deal. We're super excited. We're trying to get this bad boy finished up and raised. It's an amazing multifamily property. We're buying at $3.1 million, $1 million in rehab. I've been looking for something like this forever. It's really an easy flip for me. The project is not too hard at all. We flipped way harder homes. We're gonna be basically flipping this. We're gonna rehab it. We're gonna renovate it, and then we're gonna put in renters. Once we put in these higher renters, we can then sell it at a 4% cap rate. In general, it's 3.5%, but we can sell it at a 4 cap here in Hawaii, and that 4 cap would be about $7 million. So $3.1 million, we'll buy it, $1 million rehab, and we'll sell it $7 million. Obviously, there's a lot of costs in there involved, but we're super excited about that. We got to raise about $1.5 million. So anyone who want to invest in that deal, I really appreciate it and need you guys to message us. We have this opportunity for this deal, and it should close pretty fast here by August. I think we're trying to close. So we need about $1.5 million. So anyone have $30,000 to $1 million, we'd love to have you in our deal. Love to have you part of the deal. Should be about a year to 18-month turnaround. So let's go. I'm super excited to have you guys on the deal. And please like and comment and subscribe. I'm super appreciative of all the comments, and please subscribe to our channel. It's really amazing to have people just ask questions and to subscribe and to share the post, because we're really trying to help each other grow and help everybody in Hawaii be successful and help everyone make money. So you guys stay tuned for more, and aloha. Have a great day.